Hey YouTube, hi live.me. I wanted to share something because this little girl.
And I'm not.
Okay. The reason why I want to share this is because she was right to say what she said. And I'll take her bet, and I'm going to take your deal.
My name is Greta Thunberg, and I'm not here to make deals. You see, I don't belong to any financial interest. My name is Greta Thunberg, and I'm not here to make deals. You see, I don't belong to any financial interest or political party, so I can't bargain or negotiate. I'm only here to once again remind you of the emergency we are in. The crisis that you and your predecessors have created and inflicted upon us. The crisis that you continue to ignore. I am here to remind you of the promises that you have made to your children and grandchildren, and to tell you that we are not willing to compromise on the very minimum safety levels that still remain. The climate and ecological crisis can, unfortunately, no longer be solved within today's systems. According to the current best available science, that's no longer an opinion, that's a fact. And we need to keep this in mind as countries, businesses, and investors now rush forward to present their so-called ambitious climate targets and commitments. The longer we avoid this uncomfortable truth, and the longer we pretend that we can solve the climate and ecological emergency without treating it like an emergency, the more precious time we will lose. And this is time we do not have. Today, we hear nations and leaders all over the world speak of an existential climate emergency. And yet, instead of taking the immediate action you would in any emergency, they set up vague, hypothetical, distant targets way into the future. Targets based on loopholes and incomplete numbers. Targets like net zero emissions 2050. Targets that equal surrender. It's like waking up in the middle of the night, seeing your house on fire, and then deciding to wait 10, 20, or 30 years before you call the fire department, while labeling those trying to wake people up alarmists. We understand that the world is complex and that change doesn't happen overnight. But you've now had more than 3 decades of blah, blah, blah. How many more do you need? Because when it comes to facing the climate emergency, the world is still in a state of complete denial. The justice for the most affected people in the most affected areas is being systematically denied. Even though we welcome every single climate initiative, the targets and commitments being presented and discussed today are very far from being enough. And the time for small steps in the right direction is long gone. If we are to have at least a small chance of avoiding the worst consequences of the climate and ecological emergency, this has to change. Because you still say one thing and then do the complete opposite. You speak of saving nature while locking in policies of further destruction for decades to come. You promise to not let future generations down while creating new loopholes, basing your pledges on the cheating tactics that got us into this mess in the first place. If the commitment of lowering all our emissions by 70, 68, or even 55% by 2030 actually meant they aimed to reduce the emissions on that level, that would be a great start. But that is unfortunately not the case. And since the general level of public awareness continues to be so low, our leaders can still get away with almost anything. No one is held accountable. It's like a game. Whoever is best at packaging and selling their message wins. As it is now, we can have as many meetings and summits as we want, But unless we treat the climate and ecological emergency like an emergency, no sufficient changes will be achieved. What we need to begin with is to implement annual binding carbon budgets based on the current best available science. And right now, more than ever, we are desperate for hope. But what is hope? For me, hope is not more empty assurances that everything will be all right, that things are being taken care of, and that we don't need to worry. For me, hope is the feeling that keeps you going, even though all odds may be against you. For me, hope comes from action, not just words. And for me, hope is telling it like it is, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable that may be. And again, I'm not telling you what to do. After all, safeguarding future living conditions and preserving life on Earth as we know it is voluntary. The choice is yours to make. But I can assure you this: you cannot negotiate with physics. And your children and grandchildren will hold you accountable for the choices that you make. How's that for a deal?
I hear you, young one. I really do. I'm saying the same thing as well. Actions speak louder than words. I'm demanding actions as well, but I will take your deal. I will put them as the best as I can into actions. We're going to start now. I just hope you don't get mad at the way I do it, though. Because, as I said, I'm not the kind of leaders that give you empty allegations. I do not give you empty words and empty promises. I gave you a promise, and I will execute and practice at the best of my will. Not the best of my words or the best of my knowledge, at the best at my will. And if you believe in me, my will is strong, and my will is great. So in many ways, I want to say this to you, young one. The way I approach it and the way I do it, you should not grumble, but you should enjoy the results. Now, Joe Biden, President of the United States of America, now we start. Meaning, we understand your climate addressing. We know how you're addressing the COVID. We are done with the addressing of the COVID. I want to show and I want to see real actions from Joe Biden. That actions went through about the climate change. And how I want to see these actions is by factories. I want them to start producing the factories that will start to produce the green technology in that county. Just like we do with the electrical companies that go on the nuclear stuff, we're going to make a factory that has air. It's going to pump all the energy into that company, and that company is going to have all the storage just like the electric company, and they're going to push it out. Beach or mountains? Mountains. So in any which way, that's how it goes. So from my point of view, for you, young one, that made the bet, made the deal, and said, what about this deal? Okay, I'll take your deal. What do I get And what do I receive for doing such a thing? Nothing comes for free. So if I step out and do this for you, what do I get? A future? Remember, I don't come back. So you cannot promise me one. So what are you going to promise me? I'll wait till you're ready, young one. I do not force you. You have to do it free willingly. My prices are all the same. And everybody know what I aim for. Are you willing to give that up? So are you really making that deal with me? Because if you preach the way you did, it's targeted to me. I the one make deals. I the one make bets. I'm the one linked to all the facilities and all the banks. So I would take your bet, little one. I would even do it before you tell me your answer. I already was doing the climate change. Well, what would you do when I tell you I'm going to be successful? My polar bears need the help too. Pikachu. Pikachu, Charizard, or Articuno. It's Pikachu. For real. I always will be Pikachu. I was that weird ass rabbit bunny thing when I was a little girl before even Pokemon existed. I did one joke with Kanani once and told him that I was one fucking Pikachu. And I was shocking him. And I was shocking him with like this taser thing and yep. Hurrah, there we go. Nah, not joking. There's so much different things you actually. Hey, when the new movies gonna come out for Hunter x Hunter? Damn it. And what's up with this Jurassic World thing? Oh, Jurassic World Camp. Hey, the pink-headed girl look familiar. How come the pink-headed one look familiar? Should I watch this? What is this? What is this? Top 10. On an island crawling with dinosaurs, 16 campers are fighting to survive. Talk about the adventure of a lifetime. What the hell is this about? Should I watch it? But why does she have pink hair and turquoise colored eyes? Seriously? Because that's something I would wear, but that's not how I look. Actually, that's how. Never mind. That's how I used to look in the other world. Yeah. But that's why I like my hair when it was silver. I liked it when I got older and my hair turned silver. Hey, have you guys watched Fate? The Wings Saga? But I watched the whole fucking thing. A lot of differences, a lot of twists. Tohara, what is this? Toradora.
It's a battle for top dog. Dude, it's the first day.
Is there like any new cartoons in this one? Because I pretty much watched this whole thing. My daughter loves this cartoon. Oh yeah, I watched the whole thing already. There's like no season 2. What happened to season 2? Oh, cute, her little wings. Oh yeah, I remember that fucking wing shit. Not watching it. I could probably rehearse the whole thing into your head. How it looks on the stage and twists and her acting like she fucking likes somebody else. Hey, you guys saw Night Stalkers?
Old people, he went after young people. He went after men, he went after women. How was he selecting victims? How was he selecting homes? There was no pattern. The monster
Yes, it did.
was among us and hunting us.
He did have a pattern.
Anyone
just-
could be a victim.
You just didn't see it. If to say that a killer has no pattern, that means you don't know shit. Oh, bro, my daughter's like
Once
elves.
5 powerful elves who use their powers to protect their home, Elvendale.
Wait, they're elves and they live in Elvendale?
Why do you always have to interrupt my stories?
Because they're boring.
Sometimes I can't believe you're my sister. I'm Emily, the new guardian of Elvendale.
I'm Emily.
And this is Sophie, my sister.
And Sophie.
Place is real?
Sophie reminds me of Kitana.
How did
But don't tell my daughter that.
You left the big glowy door thing open. Yay! Oh, it's nice to have more human friends.
And my weird personalities. Look at the
This
dragons!
is incredible. What are we gonna do next?
You better get home.
Please, can we stay?
How do you say no to that face?
Oh, you're gonna love our treehouse.
Oh, the sleepover!
Aren't you having fun? Now I'm having fun.
What is this one? What is this? Like Zoids Wild. Did I watch Zoids Wild before? I'm asking you guys because I swear I saw a lot of these fucking shows, but then I'm forgetting. Because yesterday I said, I swear to God, I didn't see that anime before, but I'm now second guessing myself. I think I swear to God I watched that freaking thing before. Where is it? Oh no, it was here somewhere. Homefront. What is Homefront about? This widow
have to take
father
it down
is
that
looking
hard
for a
way.
little piece.
There's the man.
But even in a small town, violence
This
sucks
was
in
my
it. Oh
shot.
yeah, that's right. Bruh, Demon Slayer is the shit. You guys gotta watch the show. It's a bomb. I don't know if anybody else didn't like that show, but bruh, you guys gotta rewatch that show. What is Vanish?
How old was she?
They turned their backs for 1 minute and a family camping trip turned into a terrifying
Why?
nightmare.
Why did you ask how old she was? Why did you say was?
He said, how old was she? Is that what he just asked? How old was
No,
my
I
daughter?
didn't mean that. I was just thinking, I don't know why I said that.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Okay. Anyway, if you guys need anything or whatever, I'm in my trailer at Site 4, just around there, all right?
Okay.
She's a protective mother. She's paranoid. She doesn't trust no one. Makes sense. Oh, look, there's Sabrina. She's this witch girl. I swear to God, I bet you part 4. Okay. I bet you in part 4.
will be baptized.
I never
in
watched
my blood
this.
moon.
Okay.
Just wish your mum and dad were here to see them.
But here, I'll show you what I mean. So in part 4, okay, you see the two, like chapter 29, the dark. It says that as an all-consuming darkness trickles into towns, Sabrina grasps with feelings like the odd witch out and makes a risky plan for a whirlwind of trips. I bet you, yep, the third eye girl. Yep. But anyways, I bet you they're going to have some kind of, dinner stuff, and they're going to have that mishap, kind of like that Disney princess shit. And then, of course, going to have the manipulation of the bad guy, General, Yeah, we all know how the show works. But in the background of it, I believe that there's a boy that has secrets that Sabrina's going to need. But Sabrina's going to also go through some changes that will also activate her real dark witch side. I really hope so, to be honest with you, because I went through it. It's supposed to show the whole November 17th thing. Has similarities to my November 17th. Also, the similarities between my father and also with the episodes with my...
They would be so proud of the young woman.
Yeah, Kanani. And it have a lot of conflict of interest. Kind of like my life in my story, like 2019 really was like. There's another one that she's a mom, Jenny. She is exactly like me. They took the whole story of me with my daughters when my daughters was with me for the whole year. It's like they took all my experiences and all my things I did with my daughter, and they twisted it and made it more like a movie and more exciting for you guys to watch it. But that is all how I am with my daughters. I will protect my daughters. I will protect my kids like how nobody else protected me. Who does that sound like to you? That's me. That's how I know for a fact that Jenny is me. She had She had a daughter at the same age as me too, and she has a secret past, just like me, that I had to tell my daughter when she got older. Like now, she went through the same things as me. Same things. Okay. Free Spirit, Georgia, and her two children, Jenny and Austin, never move north in search of a fresh start, but find that the road to new beginnings can be bumpy. I have to apologize. I was telling you the story, but Netflix didn't bring it out yet. I'm jumping the gun again. She only fell in love with one man that was supposed to be her father. They always end up bad. Who does it sound like? That's between me and Kanani. And CJ a little bit. And Tom. Miss Mulford. And the secrets this girl holds is exactly like mine. She even asked she even smokes herb like me. She smokes herb like me. Everything about this woman is me. How I treat my kid. This is a story of me. Me now. Not me back then. This is a story about me now. How I raised my kids. How I got my kids back. When I was living with my kids. What I do behind the scenes when my kid's not around. When I doing my missions. When I straighten people out on the streets. This all right here. And I have to apologize because I thought this movie was out already. I usually don't bring it up until like maybe it comes out, and then on the 3rd or a week later, I'll talk about it so people, but this is me jumping the gun fully. I was on my Instagram and I saw glimpses of it, so I thought it came out already. So that's why I'm talking about it, saying that this is fully based on me and blah blah blah. And now I'm telling you guys this like more like a future term. If you watch this show, it's about me. It's about me now, being the age of 34 or 30, I should say. This is how she is. Believe me, watch. Let's play the trailer then. This is exactly me.
Mom, come on. This isn't us. We're like the Gilmore Girls, but
I don't like yellow though.
Peach, I got you a present. Gross. This is the new thing you're doing now? Hate on Mom? Come on. This isn't us. We're like the Gilmore Girls, but with bigger boobs.
My mom had me when she was my age.
You're going to like Massachusetts. Perfect for a fresh start.
We move a lot, so I'm always the new girl.
Who's that?
That is Jimmy's mom. I know.
I'm such a psycho.
Jimmy's thriving here. She has friends. This adorable little boyfriend. Mom, grow up. You've kissed like 3 times. That's it.
And I do that to my daughter
I blame
too.
toxic masculinity.
And she tells me that too. Mom, knock it off.
You're new, right? Just moved in across the street. Met your mom last night.
Yeah, well, she can be very friendly.
She asked me for weed. She wasn't that friendly.
Well, she can also be kind of.
Happy sweet 16, jerk. God, my crush on Georgia grows every day. Is that weird?
Yes. My mom deals with her problems by ignoring them, bundling them up, and packing it away. The only man I've ever seen her love is my dad, and that never ends well. She promised that this time would be different, but everywhere has problems.
We live in a man's world, and it is exhausting to exist in a world where you matter less.
I've met George Miller, and I do believe her to be dangerous.
I'm sick of the lies. I want answers. You're past everything.
I feel like I don't even know who my mother is. I've done things I'm not proud of, but I'd do them again. I'd do anything to protect my kids like no one ever protected me. Anything.
It's me and you against the world, kid. Remember that.
And her daughter has all the personalities of all my kids. It's like they put all my kids in one little girl. She has all the personalities of Kitana, Kiara, Secret, even my sons. She has all the personalities. And I still say that. To the day I die, I will never take it back. I will always do what I did. That's why I do not regret what I did. It's because I knew I was protecting my children. I knew I was doing the right thing. I don't want to talk any bit more about this because this show gonna make me cry. I thought this movie was already out already. And I did it again. Predicting something to you guys that I know. And she acts just like me. It's so funny. But why is this twisted? Why does this feel like a deja vu? Like, but this deja vu feels like someone told me I was gonna do it. Not like a deja vu that I saw this in my head. This seems like more like a deja vu. Oh, you're going to do this and you can do that. And I'm like, oh, really? You sure about that? Because I have no dreams or thoughts of that. Yeah, I don't. And now I can really recall it. I don't have any. Toolbox, right? Paper clips, rubber band. That's what you meant. What the fuck? But what's the point of telling me simple things like this? That's no clues of what I need to finish my mission. Like I sitting here, but what the point? What is the point of him telling me all this stuff? Because it makes no sense. Usually I always get the clue because there's a huge event coming. Like a big event. But everybody know I already told you guys what's going to happen in my court tomorrow. So, what the fuck? Something's out of line. Meaning, not in my line. This is somebody else's doing. Because I don't remember telling stories of this. Because I don't have no, like, I remember the light, wearing black dress and wearing those circle earrings in that one part of the show, but that's the show. You guys are fucking confusing me. I need to go counsel myself because 333-3307. Time limit. There's a time. I was given the time. I was given the exact time. One. I don't know. It's giving me a headache because I know it's there. I know the answer's somewhere up in my head, and it's just giving me a headache. So I'm gonna go counsel myself before I go insane, and I talk to you guys later.
part, my backyard is pretty flooded, and then I go down into the whole. Oh! Oh my God! Well, for all of those who don't know what's going on, my house is flooded.